These are all pretty good pots I have. I don't know why I still have so many pots, but I do. And here's a good stainless steel one. It's squat. I got a little stock here. In this particular dish, it's like clam juice, a lobster shell, and some shrimp tails, and the tops of the leeks. And that gets a pretty tasty stock. I think put a little thyme in it too, and a bay leaf. We're gonna start this dish as usual, sauteing a few veggies. You know, I've been to Sausalito in San Francisco. It's been years, but none of their Cioppinos were made like this. They were mostly tomatoey. Good. I mean, they were really good. But I've been making it like this for years at Gypsy and at Ned's. This is the way I want to make it. I'll tell you the truth. I love making this. I love making gumbo, but I usually don't eat it. Yeah, I don't not eat it, but, you know. This just, at Ned's and Gypsy, I'd run it as a special in a rotation of like the seafood medley. But here at home, I mean, I'll put lobster in it. Sometimes I put scallops in it. So what's going to go in here is a piece of cod, a lobster tail, shrimp, mussels, and clams. So it's going to be pretty rich in seafood. So this has the pepper, carrots, celery, and a leek. Normally I could put an onion in it too, but a leek is an onion. I'll put some oil in here. Some celery. I got a little chopped garlic and fennel. Now fennel's not even in my recipe, but I saw a recipe with it in there, so I'm gonna put some fennel seeds in this. Finocchi. I think that's what they call it in Italian. So I'm gonna add this fennel and garlic in the original saute. Now let's cut up some leeks. Leeks are great. What flavor? Now with leeks you gotta be careful. I've already kind of rinsed this. I cut it in strips and I rinsed it real good. This wasn't a particular sandy one, but they could get pretty damn sandy and dirty. Well, hell, they grow in the dirt. What the hell you want? Okay, let's put some in here. We're sauteing that. I got a poblano pepper, a carrot, celery, and leeks, garlic, and fennel seeds. Let's saute that for a while. Okay, I'll bring in some of the other ingredients. You don't have to heat the veggies forever. You just got to saute them in the oil, let them caramelize a little bit, and then you add your stock. What I brought out is clams, mussels. Usually I use the black Prince Edward Island mussels, but I couldn't get any today. And I got some shrimp and cut up lobster tail. And here's some cod, fresh cod. Basil, crushed red pepper, a bay leaf, thyme, a little oregano, some saffron. Okay, let's put some stock in here. So see, there's just scraps of leeks, shrimp tails, and a lobster shell. Okay.
Put the strainer on there.
Right. Let's let simmer for a second. I'd like to let the vegetables and the stock simmer for a while, and then I'll add the seasoned tomatoes. And then you have a finished base awaiting seafood, which is even going to add more flavor. I've added all my seasoning to the tomatoes. Now I'm going to add the seasoning and the tomatoes to the stock. You could let that hang out and cook your seafood as you want it, but I'm going to do it right now. All right, we got clams going in, lobster, shrimp, and cod. Again, these aren't the usual mussels I use, but they'll work. And I'll tell you, then you add the seafood to the finished dish, and it just brings out nothing but more flavor, especially those clams. As it's simmering, I like to taste it to see if the flavors are the way I want them to be.
What do you taste?
A lack of seasoning. I want to put more in. And if it was in a restaurant, not my house, I'd be using little soup spoons and then, you know, replacing it with a newer soup spoon, you know, for hygiene purposes. But it's in my house. I can taste what I want. All those herbs, I'm adding a little more of everything. A little thyme, a little basil, a little saffron, a little crushed red pepper. This don't take long. This seafood's done. You know what that tastes like? What it should taste like. Yum. And it's hanging out now. Just enjoying each other's flavor. It's funny too, when I was younger, sometimes you over-season when you're younger. Like you do everything when you're younger. I remember there was a time, a phase in my cooking when I had the little breakfast place. I put cilantro in everything. Home fries, everything. Finally some gal, a chef friend's wife, she just saw me at a bar and said something to me. And I was like really kind of embarrassed. And that was the end of my cilantro phase. Even though I use it a lot for certain things. Yeah. Oh.
That's cool though. It's like an honest customer
Yeah.
review.
Yeah. And her husband was a great chef.